Have you ever wondered what separates a good company from a truly great one? Imagine a workplace where employees aren't just working for a paycheck, but are truly engaged, motivated, and driving the company towards success. What's the secret sauce? It's not just leadership or innovation, it's HR excellence. It's not just innovative products or cutting-edge technology, it's the people. HR excellence is not just about hiring the right people. It's about creating a strategic framework that transforms an organization into a powerhouse of productivity and innovation. Organizations with excellent HR frameworks are 50% more likely to outperform their competitors. Welcome to today's deep dive into HR excellence, the development of a new strategic framework. Buckle up for insights, strategies, and real-world examples that can transform your HR practices. First, Introduction to HR Excellence. Let's begin with a fundamental question. What is HR excellence? In simple terms, HR excellence is the ability of an organization's human resources function to create a work environment that fosters productivity, engagement, and long-term success. This isn't just about hiring and firing, it's about aligning HR strategy with business objectives to build a workforce that thrives. For example, take Google, for instance. Google doesn't just hire talented individuals. It crafts an environment where people want to stay, innovate, and push the boundaries of what's possible. With flexible work policies, continuous learning opportunities, and a strong company culture, Google exemplifies HR excellence at its finest. Second, the strategic framework for HR excellence. Now that we understand what HR excellence is, the next big question is, how do we achieve it? The answer lies in a strategic framework that transforms HR from a support function into a key driver of business success. The pillars of a new HR excellence framework. 2.1 Strategic Workforce Planning. Companies must predict future talent needs based on market trends and business goals. Identifying skills gaps and providing upskilling opportunities ensures employees stay competitive. Workforce planning ensures the right people are in the right roles at the right time. For example, Tesla, known for its rapid innovation, constantly adapts its workforce planning to support new projects like AI-powered self-driving technology and battery production. This proactive HR strategy ensures Tesla has top talent ready for the future. 2.2. Employee experience and engagement. HR must focus on creating an environment where employees feel valued, heard, and motivated. This includes flexible work arrangements, strong company culture, mental health support, and continuous feedback. For example, Microsoft introduced a hybrid work model, investing in employee well-being programs and AI-driven collaboration tools to enhance productivity. Their approach has boosted job satisfaction and retention rates. 2.3. Leadership development and succession planning. Future-proofing the company by identifying and nurturing high-potential employees. Leadership training programs, mentorship, and coaching are critical for business continuity. For example, IBM's Leadership Academy grooms internal talent, ensuring they are ready to take on senior roles. This minimizes hiring risks and builds strong internal leadership pipelines. 2.4. Performance management and continuous learning. Traditional performance reviews are being replaced with real-time feedback systems. Investing in continuous learning and development ensures employees stay ahead of industry changes. For example, Amazon offers its employees the Career Choice Program, which covers tuition fees for courses even outside their job roles. This forward-thinking approach boosts engagement and long-term employee loyalty. 2.5. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI, creating unbiased hiring processes and fostering a truly inclusive workplace. Companies that prioritize DEI outperform their competitors in innovation, revenue, and employee satisfaction. For example, Salesforce actively invests in closing pay gaps and ensuring diverse representation in leadership roles. Their transparency and DEI efforts has set an industry benchmark. 2.6. Digital HR transformation, leveraging HR technology, AI-driven analytics, and automation to enhance efficiency. Implementing HR chatbots, automated onboarding, and AI-assisted recruitment. For example, Unilever uses AI-driven recruitment tools to eliminate bias and match candidates based on potential rather than just experience, making hiring faster and more inclusive. The need for a new strategic HR framework. The world of work is evolving faster than ever. Hybrid work models, digital transformation, and the gig economy have changed how businesses operate. Traditional HR models no longer suffice. We need a new strategic framework for HR excellence. Why is this important? The rise of automation and AI is reshaping job roles. Employee expectations have shifted toward flexibility and well-being. Diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) are no longer optional. They're essential. Skills gaps require ongoing learning and upskilling. For example, look at Airbnb. During the pandemic, they had to lay off a significant portion of their workforce. However, instead of leaving employees stranded, Airbnb's HR team created a talent directory to help them find new opportunities. This is what modern HR excellence looks like, showing empathy while maintaining business resilience. Third, the four-step process of HR excellence. Building HR excellence doesn't happen overnight. Achieving HR excellence requires more than just good hiring and training practices. It demands a strategic, data-driven approach that aligns HR policies with market realities, legal frameworks, and cultural nuances. To make this transformation practical and achievable, we'll break it down into a simple four-step process. 1. Market analysis. 2. Legal considerations. 3. A localized HR strategy. 4. Implementation. Step 1. Market analysis. Understanding workforce trends. The first step in HR excellence is analyzing the labor market, industry trends, and talent demands. HR leaders must assess factors like salary benchmarks, workforce availability, and skill gaps. Use tools like SWOT analysis and competitor benchmarking to understand market positioning. For example, Amazon entered India by analyzing workforce trends and identifying key talent hubs. They adapted their hiring strategy to attract top local talent in logistics, tech, and operations. Step 2. Legal considerations. Navigating compliance and regulations. HR must ensure compliance with labor laws, workplace safety, and employee rights. This includes understanding employment contracts, taxation policies, anti-discrimination laws, and union regulations. Failure to comply can result in legal battles, fines, and reputational damage. Speaking of legal considerations, when it comes to HR excellence, one of the most critical aspects is legal compliance. Laws and regulations surrounding employment are constantly evolving, and failing to stay up to date can lead to hefty fines, lawsuits, and damage to your company's reputation. HR professionals must navigate labor laws, workplace safety regulations, employee rights, taxation policies, and industry-specific compliance rules, all of which vary significantly across different regions. This challenge becomes even more complex when managing cross-border teams in Europe, the US, and the UK. So how do you stay ahead in this complex legal landscape? HR leaders managing multinational teams or expanding into Europe need to equip themselves with the right knowledge. And that's where Mastering European HR by Inez Vermeulen comes in. This book provides a comprehensive roadmap for navigating European HR regulations and compliance challenges. It's not just a legal handbook. It's a strategic guide that helps HR executives understand the dynamic interplay between US, UK, and European HR landscapes. What sets this book apart? Gain insights into cross-border employment laws and compliance strategies. Discover practical solutions to streamline HR processes while adhering to legal frameworks. Learn how to create policies that align with both corporate goals and national labor laws. Its proactive approach, instead of just reacting to regulatory changes, it equips HR professionals with strategic foresight to anticipate challenges before they arise. The book encourages executives to embark on a transformative journey guided by expertise, cultural nuances, and strategic frameworks to create a legally sound and efficient HR system, an invaluable resource for anyone looking to expand their business into Europe. Inez's insights and expertise shine through on every page. Feel free to explore it after this video. You'll see how it ties perfectly into what we're discussing here. You'll find the link in the description. Check it out and take your HR strategy to the next level. So step 3, a localized HR strategy, adapting to cultural and economic factors. A one-size-fits-all HR approach doesn't work globally. Companies must localize their strategies. This means adapting to cultural values, work ethics, and economic conditions in each market. Factors like work-life balance, benefits, and career progression expectations differ across regions. For example, McDonald's HR strategy varies across countries. In France, they focus on employee well-being and work-life balance, while in the US, they emphasize career progression and upskilling. Step 4, implementation, executing, and monitoring HR strategies. Once the HR strategy is in place, it's time to implement policies, track results, and make continuous improvements. Use HR tech tools, data analytics, and employee feedback to refine policies. Establish KPIs, key performance indicators, to measure success such as employee retention rates, engagement scores, and productivity levels. How organizations implement this? Assess current HR maturity, conduct surveys and audits to understand strengths and gaps, and benchmark against industry standards. Define key HR objectives. Align HR goals with the company's mission and vision. Invest in HR technology. Implement AI-driven recruitment, employee engagement tools, and performance analytics. Train and upskill. HR teams equip HR professionals with modern tools and techniques. Measure and iterate. Use HR analytics to track progress and continuously refine HR strategies. For example, Google's HR team continuously monitors employee feedback and tweaks policies, ensuring a high level of satisfaction and engagement. Advantages of the 4-step process. Provides a clear roadmap for HR transformation. Encourages alignment between HR and business goals. Facilitates continuous improvement and adaptability. If you're watching and finding these 4-step process of HR excellence helpful so far, make sure to like the video, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe for more expert insights into HR strategies that work. So, fourth, pros and cons of outsourcing HR functions. In today's fast-paced business world, companies are constantly looking for ways to streamline operations and cut costs. And one major trend is outsourcing HR functions. But is this the right move for every organization? Let's break down the pros and cons of outsourcing HR to help you decide if it's the right strategy for your business. Pros of outsourcing HR functions. 1. Cost savings. Hiring and maintaining an in-house HR team can be expensive, especially for small and mid-sized businesses. Outsourcing eliminates costs related to salaries, benefits, training, and HR technology. For example, a startup struggling with limited funds outsource payroll and benefits management, reducing overhead costs by 40% while ensuring compliance. 2. Access to expertise and latest HR practices. HR service providers specialize in employment laws, compliance, recruitment strategies, and benefits administration. They stay updated with industry trends and best practices, ensuring businesses avoid costly mistakes. For example, an e-commerce company expanded globally and outsourced HR to ensure compliance with complex international labor laws, preventing legal issues. 3. Increased efficiency and focus on core business. Outsourcing allows leadership teams to focus on business growth instead of administrative HR tasks. HR firms use advanced technology to automate processes, reducing errors and increasing efficiency. For example, a tech company outsourced HR to focus on scaling its software products. By removing HR burdens, they improve productivity and innovation. 4. Better compliance and risk management. HR outsourcing firms ensure compliance with changing labor laws, tax regulations, and workplace policies. They help prevent legal disputes related to wrongful terminations, discrimination, or employee benefits mismanagement. For example, a restaurant chain outsourced HR and avoided costly fines due to non-compliance with updated labor laws in multiple states. Cons of outsourcing. HR functions. 1. Loss of control and personalized HR approach. External HR teams may not understand a company's unique culture and employee needs. Standardized HR policies might not fit every company's workplace dynamics and values. For example, a company that prided itself on a strong, employee-focused culture found outsourced HR too impersonal, leading to lower engagement. 2. Data security risks. Sharing sensitive employee information with third-party providers increases cybersecurity risks. HR outsourcing firms must comply with strict data protection regulations, but breaches can still happen. For example, a multinational corporation suffered a data leak due to a third-party HR provider system breach, leading to employee distrust. 3. Potential employee dissatisfaction. Employees might feel disconnected when dealing with external HR providers instead of in-house HR teams. Lack of immediate support for concerns like payroll disputes, benefits questions, or workplace issues. For example, employees at a finance firm felt frustrated when their outsourced HR provider took too long to resolve payroll issues, causing dissatisfaction. 4. Hidden costs and vendor dependence. While outsourcing can save money, some providers charge hidden fees for additional services. Over-reliance on a third party can make businesses vulnerable if service quality declines. For example, a company had to switch HR vendors due to rising costs, causing disruption in payroll and employee benefits management. Outsourcing HR functions can be a game changer for many businesses, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's essential to weigh the pros and cons based on your company's size, culture, and long-term goals. 5th, real-world examples of HR excellence in action. Case Study 1. Adidas. Adidas is a global leader in the sportswear industry, and its HR excellence strategy plays a significant role in its success. Strategic alignment. Adidas aligns its HR goals with its brand values of innovation and performance. Talent management. The company invests heavily in leadership development programs, ensuring a robust talent pipeline. Outsourcing for efficiency. Adidas outsources non-core HR functions, allowing its internal teams to focus on strategic initiatives. Outcome. This approach has resulted in high employee engagement, strong employer branding, and consistent business growth. Case Study 2. Medneo, a healthcare diagnostics company, has rapidly expanded across Europe by embracing HR excellence. HR technology integration. Medneo adopted state-of-the-art HR technologies to streamline recruitment and onboarding. Complementary consultation. The company collaborated with HR consultants to develop strategies tailored to its industry. Focus on employee experience. Medneo prioritizes employee well-being through flexible work arrangements and career development opportunities. Outcome. These initiatives have helped Medneo attract top talent and maintain operational excellence during its rapid expansion. 6th, challenges in achieving HR excellence and how to overcome them. Of course, no transformation is without challenges. Let's look at some common hurdles and how to tackle them. First, resistance to change. Solution: clear communication and leadership support. Second, budget constraints. Solution: prioritize high-impact HR initiatives with measurable ROI. Third, Lack of data-driven decision-making. Solution: invest in HR analytics tools to guide strategies. Fourth, employee burnout and mental health issues. Solution: implement well-being programs and work-life balance initiatives. Seventh, the future of HR excellence. Before we wrap up, let's take a sneak peek into the future of HR. What trends will shape the next decade? AI and automation. The integration of AI will redefine talent management and analytics. Sustainability in HR. HR strategies will increasingly focus on environmental and social responsibility. Personalized employee experiences. Customizing HR practices to individual needs will become a standard. Global collaboration. Cross-border teams and hybrid work models will demand innovative HR solutions. For example, companies like Patagonia are already leading the way by integrating sustainability into HR, offering paid volunteer days and ethical hiring practices. HR is no longer just an administrative function. It's a strategic powerhouse that drives business success. Organizations that embrace the new HR excellence framework will attract, retain, and develop top talent while staying ahead in a competitive world. And if you're looking for a deeper dive, I've linked a recommended book on this topic in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Thanks for sticking around. If you're watching this, I have a great video on HR basics, legal considerations that you'll find useful. Click here to watch it next. Until next time, remember, HR isn't just a department. It's the engine of organizational success. What HR trends do you think will define the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on business and leadership. See you in the next video.